Hey everybody, this is NavyBlueGamer. Welcome back to more Plants vs. Zombies. Last episode, we finished up to level 3-5. We're going to move on afterwards. But as promised, I am going to show you the minigame spot real quick. It just has a list of currently only 3 minigames that we can do. But ultimately, there's 20 minigames that we can eventually work towards. I'm not going to do any of them today, but I figured I'd point it out. We've done this guy before, but this one's actually going to be the more advanced version. So be on the lookout for that when we get back to that. I personally like the slot machine a lot, but again, we'll get back to these later. But I figured at least show it off since we got access to it in the last episode. But without further ado, let's continue the adventure. Alright, oh, we're already starting with a new type of zombie. That's delightful. Okay, so we'll get the standard stuff. We're going to need the jalapeno for this level, which we got in the last episode after 3-5. Because that was the level that gave it to us. Okay. And then we'll have that, the kelp, and actually there's not really too much reason to have the kelp, but I also don't have a reason for not having it, so we can keep it. And then we'll have to squash for good measure. Okay. Now, I do like the jalapeno a lot. So if you remember the cherry bomb, and I guess by extension that, the doom shroom. Oh, I didn't realize I had that. That complicates things a little bit. Because I thought I used that in the last level. Oh well. I'll make it work. It just means it progresses a little sooner than I would like, but I guess I'll deal with it for now. There wasn't really a good opportunity to show off the animation though, last time, so I guess you get to see it there. I swear I did not buy it off screen. It just happened to be here, so I don't really know what happened there. But that's alright, we're still able to build up our sunflowers just fine, and things are still going to go just that much more swell. I'll go ahead and start planning out the kelp as well. No reason not. Especially since I can have a buildup of it so that it's not overwhelming, if you will. Alright. And this happened in the last episode as well. That's not really the most desirable thing, but oh well, we'll make it work. Should probably be planting more lily pads. That might be helpful. Otherwise, all I'll have to defend me is a tangle kelps, and that's not exactly the most oh my god, words. The most reliable method of taking care of zombies in the water. So we'll just not have that be our only option. I'm gonna show off I can show off the jalapeno now, but I would rather wait until we get to that particular zombie, which I love the name of it. It's an awesome pun. But we'll get to it when we get to it. But in the meantime, we're building up enough sun quick enough to be able to get some repeaters out there. I'll put a walnut there, just to kind of halt it in its tracks. I'm fairly certain the repeater would have been fine, but it's good to have there for a line of defense anyway, so it works out all the same. So I do actually have a couple things I want to talk about. I'm going to wait to talk about those a little bit, especially since it's really not going too badly right now. It's actually turned out a lot smoother than I was anticipating it would at first, so that's cool. Alright. Oh my goodness. I felt a burp coming. That's why I didn't commentate for a little bit. But turns out that was a non-concern, so we're okay. Perfect. Kelp doing its job. I'll just plant you there. Get rid of the guy that much faster. Okay, I believe coming up in this huge wave, or maybe shortly after, I could show off the jalapeno. Because it's actually really cool. Okay, I can't show it off yet. It's alright, we will in due time. I think we'll get a chance to shortly after here, so... Yeah. There's an achievement I want to talk about, actually, while I'm thinking. Oh, before I do that, this guy here. That's a Zomboni. Yeah. Yeah, it's a zombie and a Zamboni, which, by the way, is actually listed in the Almanac. But he will just roll across the... That's what the jalapeno does. We'll talk about that in a moment. But the Zomboni just kind of goes across the lane, and if it were to run over any of the plants, like if I had a plant up here, it would just crush it. Like, just completely run it over and render it absolutely useless. It also leaves behind a trail of ice that you saw there just a minute ago. Unfortunately, you can't actually plant on top of the ice, so there has to be some way of getting rid of it. That's where the jalapeno comes in handy. The jalapeno explodes onto an entire lane. So if there's a particular lane that you're trying to protect because it's like getting close to the lawnmower or whatever, and you're able to use a jalapeno, you may want to be able to pitch one in there. But another purpose that the jalapeno serves is that it actually melts the ice that the Zombonis leave behind, which means you can actually plant stuff there again. So it has multiple purposes there. Okay, so now I'm done talking about all that. The thing I was going to mention previously. Oh my goodness, I am a little upset at myself because... oh yeah, these guys take a lot of hits, by the way. Because one of the achievements requires getting 30 coins without missing a single one. And in level 2-10, I had... Oh, darn it. I misplaced it. That's alright, though. There you go. Yeah. Pretty much any insta-kill plant will work just fine against the Zombonis. But, yeah. In level 2-10, I could have easily had it. But then I missed, like... one of the few crucial coins that I absolutely could not miss to get that achievement, and I did miss it. So I'm kind of kicking myself there. But I'm sure we'll get a good opportunity to do so in level 3-10. So, yeah, I just figured I'd point that out. We got a new plant here, the spikeweed. Man, I love these guys so much. I use them like, all the time. But we'll, of course, get the standard 3 that we need. And then we'll have the walnut and the potato mine. And then from here... Oh, I am going to want the tangle kelp, mainly because of these guys here. So I'll grab the tangle kelp, the jalapeno, and then the spikeweed. The reason I'm getting a jalapeno is just in case, but the spikeweed is actually really helpful. And we'll be able to show off why. Oh, you know what? Yeah, this goes for the next 3 levels. I forgot about that. We have that for 3 levels before it goes away. Yeah, I might have briefly forgotten about it. That's my bad. Oh, maybe if I could plant stuff, it might help. Yeah, I forgot about that. If you buy this at Crazy Dave's shop, it actually lasts for the next 3 levels. That was an oversight that I could have avoided, but didn't, so shame on me for that. That's still amusing, though, so I guess it's worth it in the end. Okay, so I can plant the potato mine there. And meanwhile, just keep planting some of these sunflowers here. Keep building up the lily pads here. I guess I could plant the tangle kelp out as well. That's always a good idea. In case I get some zombies coming through here when I'm not prepared. No, I was actually, Oh, here's something I can talk about. I was checking out some Plants vs. Zombie videos that I did years ago. I'm talking like 7 years ago, back when I was a naive teenager. I'm no longer a teenager, but I still might be somewhat naive, admittedly. It's okay to take fault. It's okay to take fault in weaknesses that you have. It shows that you're growing as a person. But what I was going to say was, I've privated those videos, so you actually can't view them at all. But I did check out the videos because I did attempt to do a Let's Play of this a long time ago, like I said, 7 years ago, and I was just curious to know how far I've gotten. I must have been really lazy or whatever, because I did not even make it past, like, the first set of levels. Like, I didn't even make it past 1-10 in the video series. Not that I couldn't, to be clear. I just didn't make that many videos, I guess. But that's okay, because we've gotten much farther than that, and I'm honestly really enjoying this. I need more sun, please. Thank you. Yeah, I've been really enjoying the series so far, and I really hope you guys have been as well. The spikeweed, I guess I should start planting them, but I'm actually going to wait a little bit. I want to at least have repeaters in all the rows here. We have quite a bit of time to work with, so I just want to make sure that I'm all set in terms of my defenses here. Or, I guess you could say my offensive defense? That's kind of interesting. Okay, so spikeweed. It's actually more helpful to plant them as far right as you can, as opposed to as far left as you can. Because these ones are designed for zombies to actually interact with. I'll be able to show that off in just a moment. Yeah, this is a fast recharge time, so I'm able to just plant quite a few of them here. And we can see the wave of zombies approaching. And they actually do a little bit of extra damage against any zombies that walk over it. So that's pretty nice. But not only that, maybe if a Zomboni wants to appear, we can show off something really cool with that. Let's go ahead and plant some more repeaters now that I'm getting a nice amount of sun here. Doom, doom. Wait, did it just tell me that? Hold on, what did I message tell me? Because Spikeweed actually has a specific message. It's not going to tell me anymore. Okay, that's fine. Plant a lily pad first. I'm guessing it was saying that you can't plant spikeweeds on top of the water, which makes sense considering they're a ground-based. Because it's supposed to be like a floor trap, and you can't exactly have a floor trap in the water. So I mean, yeah, these guys are also pretty helpful in whittling down the buckethead zombies here. Not to say that the repeaters are any slouches either, because they still do quite a bit of damage here. But yeah, they are pretty helpful in that sense as well. I guess I should probably start planting some walnuts. That might be helpful. Okay. Okay, I'm just going to go ahead and talk about it. So the Zombonis, if you recall, are actually on a vehicle. Okay, there we go. Yeah, they're actually on a vehicle. Or like they ride in one. And as you probably know from, well, maybe not necessarily experience, but from at least logic, wheels don't like spikes. If a Zomboni were to run over a spikeweed, it would, yes, kill the spikeweed, but in return, it also kills, just outright kills the Zomboni. So that's really nice to keep, that's a nice thing to keep in mind. And that's another reason why you want to plant these as far to the right as possible, because if you can have it set in such a way where the ice won't impact any of the tiles that you can potentially plant on, that would be ideal. Oh, look, we can see that right here. It kills it, but look at that. Kablooey! It's done. And we don't have to worry about it anymore. We'll go ahead and replant one of the spikeweeds in its place. And yeah, this level's actually going very well, for what it's worth. Yeah, for story mode, the strategies I've been going for so far have been pretty consistent. Like, you can do these fairly consistently. Sometimes you can just get unlucky with particular zombie layouts, but for the most part, everything should be okay. I suppose it would be helpful to point out an achievement that you can get during the pool levels, where you don't use any pea shooters during the pool level. Oh my goodness, excuse me. The only reason I'm not going for that now is we don't really have the capability to do that yet. That's the only reason I haven't pointed out yet, but I figured now would be a good time to at least mention it. So, just something to keep in mind here. Got all those going for us. The Zomboni's been taken care of. And I'll go ahead and just use that there. Because that bucket head is gonna, I guess, not really cause any problems, but I'd just rather not deal with it. Take that swimmer down with me. And yeah, we pretty much have this. Levels going very well. Ooh, this guy. This guy is a torchwood. Peas that pass through it turn into fireballs. There's an exception, but we'll talk about that when we get there. Oh, these guys, the Dolphin Rider zombies. Oh, these guys are fun. But we don't have any Zombonis to worry about, so we're not going to worry about Spikeweed. And I don't think we'll worry about the Jalapeno either. But there is something else we need to worry about, and that's this guy. Fortunately, we do have a good counter for it now, but it's not really that great of a counter, especially since it recharges slowly, that being the Tangle Kelp. So we'll just go ahead and select those three, the walnuts and the potato mine as we usually do, torchwood to show it off, Tangle Kelp because that could be nice, and then the squash to have as just kind of like a last resort kind of thing. Okay, so starting off, we'll go ahead and plant the sunflower like we usually do. I'm actually just going to wait for this so I can plant the next sunflower as soon as I can. The sun will allow me to plant this lily pad. Not in the place I wanted it, but we'll make it work. It's not the end of the world, so yeah, okay. Then we can plant potato mine out here and progress through this level like we normally do. So while we're going through just this early stages before we get into the new plant and the new zombie, I do have a story I could tell. Oh, I have the screen blocked off, but I think I remember what it was. I talked about how I got the scars on my hands before. Well, I have another injury I do want to talk about. I should probably be planting stuff and not just sitting here. That might be helpful. When I was in middle school, I don't usually like to remember middle school all that much, but this is a story that does stand out to me. When I was in middle school, I was in gym class, and we were just kind of playing basketball outside on the concrete courts. And we were just kind of doing our own thing. We're on separate teams. I currently have the ball in my possession. Alright, it's a potato mine there. I currently have the ball in my possession, and I'm about to go take my shot so that I could potentially score it. Now, keep in mind, I am not the greatest at basketball anyway, so I probably would have missed. So what I'm about to tell you doesn't really matter. But, it still kind of sticks out to me, so I'm still going to talk about it. So I jump up to take my shot, and as I'm getting ready to throw the ball in the air, someone runs right into me, full on tackles me. Well, not really tackled me, but he was trying to prevent me from taking my shot. But unfortunately for me, that also meant that I was sent flying. Which is all well and good, except for the fact that I landed... The first part that hit the ground was the back of my head. In hindsight, I was surprised I did not get a concussion. But it's all interesting to me because I remember those events so vividly. I remember I was playing basketball with a group of my friends. Time has made me forget who I was playing the game with to begin with. But, I do remember I was playing it with a group of my friends at the time. Or at least people who were in the same class as me. So, I guess I should be planning these guys. That might be helpful. I remember it also vividly, which might be why. Which might have something to do with why I didn't get a concussion. Because I remember it so clearly, but who's to really say? Alright. So this torchwood here, now that I'm building up some more sun here, I guess I can go ahead and start talking about that. So I'll go ahead and plant it in the water to start off with. Oh, thank goodness. Okay. Yeah, these guys, are not fun. Luckily, the, kelps are able to just take them down. Oh, boy. Alright. Go for it, please. Oh, man. Yeah, these guys can just jump right over your zombies. Which, is not fun. That's why you want to have to tangle kelps planted, by the way, because the zombie riders will just jump straight over them. But yeah, back to the torchwood. Any piece that go through the torchwood's fire are actually doubled in damage. You can already see where this is going. Having 2 rows of these, plus having a torchwood in this row, is equivalent to having 4 rows of repeaters, but with the benefit of having an extra row to play with. You can already tell why this is awesome. Now, I don't think I'll be able to have this all set up, but just know that it does cause some mass destruction. And the thing is actually cheaper than repeaters. So you're also saving sun by doing it this way as well. But, actually, I'm going to wait to plant the Tangle Kelp, because I think only one more is going to spawn, and that's going to be at the final wave. I guess I was wrong. Alright, well... Okay, well that worked out at least. But, we should probably have a method of taking care of these guys. Luckily, I've got both the Tangle Kelp and the Squash at the ready. So... Okay, there's only one, so Tangle Kelp's all we need, and then we've got this in the bag, really. But yeah, that... the one exception that I mentioned about the Torchwood. If you were to use snow peas in a level, but also have the Torchwood, the snow peas would just turn into regular peas. On that same token, if you were to, for some reason, plant the snow peas in front of the Torchwood, and then try to use that in conjunction with the regular pea shooters, the fireballs will just end up thawing out the zombies, so it's kind of a moot point. So if you're going to use the Torchwood, don't use the snow peas. If you're going to use the snow peas, don't use the Torchwood. So it's that kind of scenario here. We got a new plant though, and that's a tall nut. Sorry, walnut, but your days were numbered. Oops. Oh my goodness. Yeah, this is definitely the one that you want to use. So, it's a heavy-duty wall that can't be vaulted over. It's basically a more powerful version of the walnut. Don't get me wrong, walnut have served its purpose very well, but unfortunately its days were numbered. And there's just not really much more of a use for it. So we're going to swap it out for the tall nut, and then we have the Zomboni again, so we'll add the jalapeno. We'll have the Tangle Kelp, and we'll have the Spikeweed. We're not going to really worry about the Torchwood, because I don't think it'd be necessary for this level. Let's rock. So starting things off, yeah, the tall nut, like I mentioned, is just a more powerful version of the walnut, so there's not really anything more to talk about that. So I guess, while we're just kind kind of just playing through this level, I want to talk about the other series that I've started on this channel, Super Mario Odyssey Co-op. I don't really want to talk about the series itself, but rather something that I started doing in that series. And you might have noticed that I've been doing an end slate for all of those videos, which I really love how it turns out. You're just going to have to check out one of those videos to see for yourself. I really do think it's that worth it. But, you might be wondering, well, why aren't you using the end slate for Plants vs. Zombies? Well, the thing is, at the time I released like the first couple episodes, I didn't really think to have an end slate because I didn't think it was all that necessary, to be honest with you. But, when I started doing the Super Mario Odyssey co-op with Crazy Cube Dude, I was just like, I want to be able to show that he's a legitimate part of the series, and not just like try and put it in the description, because I realized that not everyone reads the description. So I was just like, okay, well, the most logical thing to do in this case would just to have an end slate. So I ended up creating one. I can't remember off the top of my head where I went to create it, but it's a web page. I'll put an annotation on the screen now, and I'll also leave a link to the description so you go to check it out for yourself. Because I really do like how it turned out, and I do think that it's honestly just fine for an end slate for a little while. But I need to. There we go. But yeah. So I don't really talk to you guys, the audience, but I'm just gonna do that for now. Potato Mind, you do your thing. But I don't really talk to you guys, the audience, like directly. Like I talk to you, of course, but I never like ask you questions or anything. So I do have a question for you. Quite simply, how is your day or nights, depending on when you're watching it? And just what have you been doing? I can tell you one thing I've been doing. I go to school for music. I've mentioned this before, I'm pretty sure, in passing. But it's one of those things that I don't really... I try not to bring up, because I realize not everyone is into music like I am. At least in the sense of, like, when you go to attend, like, orchestras and things of that nature. Actually, interestingly enough, I do want to end up being a part of an orchestra one day, so I'm working very hard at that. But, I'm also taking voice lessons, and specifically, I've been doing a summer program. I've been doing a 5-week program, which will ultimately lead to a concert of solos and duets. So I'm pretty excited for that. I don't have plans to record that particular concert. However, I can at least let you know how that goes. By the way, yeah, I created another Zombatar in between episodes. Yeah, I don't know if it's appeared at this point, but I figured it's a nice thing to point out. I should start planting the spikeweed now that I've got some nice sun coming in. But yeah, they're just going to be chomping away at the tall nuts for a while. So that's cool. I will say the tall nuts are a bit more expensive, but they do actually have another property that we will be able to talk about in this particular level. Oh, and here's the zombie itself. Yeah, they can't leap over the tall nut. The same actually goes for the javelin zombie. They cannot leap over the tall nut because it's, well, tall. It just stops them in their tracks. I love these guys. So, yeah, that's a neat property that I got to talk about. And, yeah, everything's going very smoothly in this episode, to be honest with you. We're about 29 minutes in-ish. I'm only guesstimating because I actually don't start the official video until like a few minutes in, just to make sure everything is running smoothly. But I'm assuming I'm about that far in. Oh, speaking of the javelin zombies, yeah, you can't jump over these guys, even if you were able to make it that far. Which that one was able to, but the other one couldn't. Haha. Let's do that though. But yeah, yeah, how have you guys been doing lately? Like, what have you been up to? I'm just curious to know. Also, Crazy Cube Dude, if you answer, I'm gonna punch you. Not actually. Don't see that as a threat, please. Because, yeah. No, well... I mean, from how much I kick his butt in Smash Bros, it certainly feels like I'm punching him. I guess we'll put it that way. Yeah, I actually haven't played Smash Bros in a while, admittedly enough. I guess I could, and just make it like a weekly thing, be like, hey, I'm playing Smash Bros. Come join me on this day, or whatever. Popping them tires. Alright, I've got nice defense going on here. We got the spike weeds coming along nicely here. I do want to try and get a third row in here, but a fourth row won't be necessary. And that's just because I want to make sure I have room for the jalapenos in the event that something goes horribly wrong. I'm certain we'll be fine, but just a nice thing to keep in mind. I'm actually getting a lot of money here. I'll have to double check this particular level to see if I maybe got the achievement we were talking about here. It can sometimes be difficult to divide your attention, especially with like live commentating, considering just how much needs to be said in these kind of videos. But I think we're handling it just fine. Because it's hard to divide the attention, sometimes I do kind of miss the obvious, which happened in level 2-10, which I'm still salty about, admittedly. Because I could have easily had the achievement just done and over with. But instead, I just kind of have to chug along and just hope that I get it and keep looking out for it in editing. So I'm hoping I'll be done with that after this episode. Here, we'll just do this. Goodbye. Yeah, the flames travel across the water. How that makes sense, I don't know. But we have another note.
Hello. We heard you were having a pool party. We think that is fun. We'll be right over. Sincerely, the zombies.
We got a bunch of zombies, plus a zomboni. And it's another one of these levels! Woohoo! Alright. We have the torchwood coming up. I'm not going to plant that yet because I don't really have a use for it. 3-peater can go in the back here. Lily pad will plant immediately. We have another 3-peater, so we've got all rows covered already, so that's amazing. Spikeweed can be planted in the front here. Lily pad. We'll see how far the zombie gets, but I might just end up using a jalapeno. Actually, we might be fine. We'll see, though. It's at the ready in case? Okay, cool. That's awesome. Perfect, okay. So we'll go ahead and plant out some torchwood as well. Get that going here. We have some spike weeds we can plant out. We have a lot of jalapenos already. Oh my lord. That's actually really nice. Yeah, if you remember Crazy Cube Dude from the last episode, he was talking about having a bunch of rows of 3-peaters. This is probably the best level for it. And in fact, that's all we've been getting in terms of offensive pea shooters so far. So that's interesting. And this song is still as awesome as ever. Next time we get a torch, we're going to plant it right there, because it looks like it's going to need it. I'll plant that there. We got a squash that we can use. I'm actually just going to go use a jalapeno. Go and get rid of it. Oh, darn it. I should have waited just a little longer. Oh, well. I think we'll be fine. So we got some nice bases covered here. We'll go ahead and do that for now. Here we go. Get the torchwood going here. Yeah, I'm pretty sure the three-peaters are the only offensive plants that you're gonna get, which is why it's quite imperative that you have a torchwood ready, as well as you can amplify the damage that you do. The spikeweed might also help. Might. Don't take my word for it, though. Just look at the destruction that's going on. Alright. Actually, yeah, you'll be fine. I have so many jalapenos. Oh my goodness. And there he goes. Alright. That's a lot of jalapenos. Okay, cool. Got a tall nut that I can plant here. Finally, we're getting to some tangle kelp. Yep, I'll go ahead and have you ready there. Just to take care of that underwater zombie here. Alrighty. Ooh, torchwood. We should do one more torchwood, and then we'll... Honestly, I think we'd be just fine. I don't want to deal with that right now, so we're just gonna get it. Oh, it's just gone. That's so good. Alright. That's fine then. Wow! That underwater zombie got killed so fast. Okay, cool. Okay, cool. This is actually a little... That was a misclick. That's alright, though. We'll make it work. Alright, there we go. Alright, I just need one more tall nut, and honestly, I think we'll be fine. I better keep an eye out on the money out here, though, because I've missed out on, one too many coins in the past to be okay with that situation. So, cool. Everything's being primed and all good to go. I don't really need these guys anymore, so I'm just gonna kind of plant them as kind of fodder for now. Oh, here we go. Alright, so that crushes the things, but that's okay. Perfect. And that ice, well, there... Oh, you know what? There's something I actually did not talk about the ice here. There's actually zombies that we haven't even run into yet. And, the zombies are actually bobsled zombies. And they just kind of... Oh my goodness. Yeah, and the bobsled zombies here will only appear on icy roads here. So, wow, that just got destroyed real fast. Whoa, that's a lot of coinage here. Whoa, okay. I guess we can have those ready. Let's have you guys at the ready. So many squashes. Sure, why not? We'll have a double tall nut here. Nothing's getting through that row. Oh my goodness. Alright, and there just goes everything. Oh my goodness, look at all those three-peaters. That's really cool. Alright, so yeah, we did it. And we got ourselves a new type of plant. We got ourselves a sea shroom, aquatic plant that shoots short-range spores. we're going to talk about that mushroom in the next episode. Alrighty. Next time in Plants vs. Zombies, we're going to tackle level 4-1. Oh boy. See you guys next time.